Welcome to Business News and Other Shit. I'm your host, Amer Abdullah. What's up, y'all? Thank you for listening in. Episode number 26.
Swag.
We doing it. Let me introduce y'all. We got a bunch of people here, but we're going to try and do our best to help you understand who's speaking, so not too many of us are speaking at the same time. Bless you.
Bless you.
Chris Broadhead.
Yo.
That's our producer, y'all.
What it is.
That's our producer, CB, the guy who makes shit happen.
That's me.
I call him my GSD. Get shit done.
Hey.
That's
GSD.
me.
GSD.
That's also what I
No
call
other acronyms work for me, though. And don't try to, guess what that acronym stands for,
Okay.
because it'll get ugly.
I got nothing for it. IRS. That's all I got. What were you going to say? That's also what you call what?
I was going to say that's also what I call my hitman.
Your hitman? GSD?
Yeah,
Just gets my shit
done.
Kareem Bazara and Yahya
Yo,
Rashid. What's up, Kareem? Sorry. Say your voice again. Say your voice. Give us your voice print.
What's up, guys?
There we go. Guys, Kareem is our social media gangster. That's what we're going to call you. Yahya Rashid. What's up, man?
Yo, what is it?
He's only here because he's my cousin. Otherwise, I'd kick him the fuck out of here.
I do a lot more than just help you out.
We won't talk about that.
Wow.
And last but not least, coming in, weighing in, a solid 126 soaking wet,
Wow. That's the lies. Okay.
St. James Jackson.
If you smell what the black guy is cooking. All right, I'm done.
So happy to have you, man.
Thanks for having me.
I done scheduled this guy 7 times in the past 2 months, and we both just kept going back and forth like, oh, gotta change it. So we did it. Thanks for being here, St. James.
Of course.
It's great to have you. See, guys, so St. James and I don't know what I'm doing at these open mics. I don't know what I'm doing in stand-up, man. I saw this guy. I'm like, this guy is friggin' making me crack up. I want to be as giggly and humorous as this guy. I would love that. And so I was like, yo, can you help me? And it was fucking hard to ask you that. You know why?
Because you're a grown man with an ego.
I'm a 38-year-old dude with an ego that's way bigger than this room in this building.
Oh, man.
What?
Nah,
Okay.
This sound like you got some Kanye West syndrome going.
Oh, for sure, man. For sure. Next thing you know, I'm going to dye my hair orange and sit with Donald Trump. So thank you for being here, man. And yeah, so St. James is a stand-up comedian. Let's plug you right away in case we get run out of time. So St. James, when are you performing next?
When would this drop?
This will drop Monday.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good turnover. This is a good podcast.
Right there. You see that guy right there? He used to have long-ass hair. CB? He makes his shit happen. GSD right there.
Yeah, that's funny. Well, in that case, you can see me next Friday at the Laugh Factory at 10 o'clock at the Young Hustle Show, one of the best shows in Chicago.
Boom. So today's Friday. Do you mean a week from today or 14 days from today?
A week from today.
All right. So we're talking about the 26th.
It is at 25th, I believe. I believe. It could
What's
be
today? 19th?
25th. Today's the 18th.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Friday, July 20. July. I'm in the summer. I'm in the summer.
Too cold for you?
Oh man, dude, I want to be in July so bad.
Oh man, me too.
All right, so Friday, January 25th, 10 p.m. Now I've had Skylar on the show. He says that he can get comps if you kind of show up there. What they really want you to do is buy 2 drinks. Is that true?
Exactly.
Okay, so people don't need to buy tickets.
No. And I'm not saying that on the record.
Oh.
If you message us, if you hit me up ahead of time, I can give you free tickets.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So where would they hit you up? St. James Jackson on Facebook or IG?
Everything, Life of St. James.
Life of St. James.
S.T. James.
Man, do tell about the life of St. James.
Nothing, man. Just be out here fucking bitches and getting money. Can I say that on? I don't know what I can say.
It's too late, brother. You said it.
All right, cool. Fucking bitches getting money. With that being said, I do have a girlfriend, so it's like I'm cuddling with one girl and getting money. That's what I'm doing right now.
Okay. Tell us about this girl.
She's white because I believe in reparations.
You're just going to enforce that shit on your own, right? I feel you. Take the law into my own hands.
She's Jewish because I'm trying to make an account. I really hit all the angles. She's a white Jewish girl. Nice. I really like her.
Congratulations, man. You've really pinned the tail on the donkey.
I'm trying, bro.
That's great, man. So so if you stay with this girl, a black dude and a Jewish girl, that's not that common.
No, it's not.
Right?
Not at all.
I'm just trying to picture your
Lenny Kravitz.
Lenny Kravitz, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Lenny Kravitz and St. James Jackson.
Swag.
Boom.
Isn't Drake also?
Okay.
greatest-
Ooh, yeah.
I think so.
The greatest black Jew of all time, Drake. I don't
But-
claim that nigga. I don't like light skinned people, but yeah, him.
Man, why are you so racist?
I don't know, bro. I don't like them. You ever just see a light skinned guy?
I'm not gonna
smile?
lie. I'm pretty insecure right now because I'm light skinned.
Yeah, but you're not black, so you're not what I mean by light skin.
My ancestry is from Africa.
Well, I don't like you then. That's it.
I'm trying to do everything I can to get this guy to like me right now. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, I love you, bro. You're amazing.
Thank you very much.
Man, light skinned people. You ever look at a light skinned person in their eyes? It's evil, man. You can feel it.
For real?
Yeah, man, it's just evil. They got dark hearts. That's why they're so light skinned.
I'm about to delete all the light skinned black people on my phone right now.
Okay.
How about we start the podcast? Woo! All right, guys, let's get to it. So let's talk about what the hell's going on in the markets. Here we are, January 18th, 2019. All right. So St. James, how much do you know about markets?
A little bit more from the first time I was here.
All right, so nearly nothing.
Still nothing.
Perfect.
Anything times zero is.
No, that's perfect, man. You need to jump in whenever you want to jump in.
Okay.
And be like, what the hell are you talking about?
Okay.
Or like, yo, that sounds like some stupid shit to me. Or like, yo, that sounds cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so by the way, we're gonna get a little. Let's do a quick overview. So we're gonna talk about the markets. We're gonna talk about the shutdown, government shutdown. We're gonna talk about
Build the wall.
We're gonna talk about after the shutdown. We're gonna talk about John Bogle. A man has passed away, and my grandma will come talk to y'all about this man. She knew him. And then we're gonna talk about WeWork. Y'all heard of WeWork? You heard of WeWork?
The place that people can work at.
Yeah, like co-working space.
Yeah.
The place where we go to work.
The place where we work. WeWork. The place where we work. Yeah, so we're gonna talk about WeWork and some shit that they're up to. Their CEO Adam Newman is he's fucking slippery. This guy is slippery.
Like
All
a
right.
snake.
Like a snake. So let's jump to talking about the markets. All right, y'all. So markets are rallying. Stocks are going up. Rich people getting richer,
Sounds right.
right? Or whoever's in the stock market, right? It's kind of crazy because October, November, December were three of the craziest months we've had since the 2008 Great Recession. The stock market was tanking, going down, down, down for 3 straight months. It was scaring the shit out of everyone, and there were good reasons for it. All right, but everything's changed in January. The question is what to do, right? As you can see, Mr. Stock Market is wildly swinging all over the place. Some days down, some days up. In fact, for 3 months it was down, and now for this month it's up.
By stock market, do you mean? All right, I'm not gonna say it. Go ahead.
That's perfect. No, you nailed it. Nailed it. So it's swinging wildly. Now in the last quarter, in October, November, December, it was going down. Why? Because the main reason, one of the main reasons, was the Federal Reserve Bank was raising interest rates in America. Meaning, if you wanted to buy a car or a house or get a student loan, your monthly payment just jumped because they were raising interest. And they were doing it on purpose because the economy was getting so strong. They're trying to get people to spend less money, borrow less money. If they raise interest rates, we're all going to stop borrowing as much as we used to. We're not going to borrow as much. So that was cool. It was smart. The economy was flying like an airplane really fast, and they're trying to land it, slowly on the runway. So they start raising interest rates. Makes sense. Then Trump started a big ass Cold War with China, right? Trump is like, yo, China, we want you to stop charging tariffs. We want you to do all sorts of intellectual property law changes. They basically wanted China to transform overnight and change their economy overnight. That's what Trump is trying to do. He's trying to force their hand to change overnight. And that rattled the markets. Everyone was like, what the fuck's going on here? Like, this could completely dramatically shift the markets. That was number 2. Number 3, in general, the globe, economics or economies around the globe were slowing down. China, number 1. China has been booming on its way to become the strongest economy in the world, the biggest economy in the world, and they were just moving really fast. And suddenly they started going slower, and that spooked everyone out. You guys are not gonna believe this. The number one market for automobiles, for example, not the United States anymore.
China.
China.
That's right. They buy more cars than the United States right now, and they love American cars too. They love Cadillacs. Don't ask me why. Chinese love
Who
Cadillacs.
doesn't love Cadillacs?
I don't really like Cadillacs. I'm not
Yeah,
gonna
me
lie.
neither. I don't
Most
know why I said that.
Americans.
You like Cadillacs, St. James?
Old school one maybe.
Maybe, right?
Yeah, nice little purple one. Give me a nice little pimp suit. You know,
Cigar,
Yeah, exactly.
top hat, a cane,
Exactly. Perfect.
put a feather
Mhm.
in the hat, and then
Drive down Clark Street. Call it a day.
yeah. I think we just turned St. James into a pimp.
Hey, bro, if you can we do a GoFundMe for me a purple Cadillac?
Oh, I thought you were gonna say GoFundMe for me to start up my pimp business. So China, it was just slowing down. Their economy was slowing down. So the markets were going down. Everyone's like, yeah, we probably are going into recession. That makes sense. And then all of a sudden, a huge thing happened. The Federal Reserve came out and said, yo, we are going to be patient. We are going to stop raising interest rates. They didn't exactly perfectly say that, but they're basically suggesting that they're not going to raise interest rates as fast as they were. And so it just suddenly everyone became a little less spooked out about interest rates going up. And so houses and cars, if you want to buy them or get a student loan, we're like, okay, this ain't going to be getting too much more expensive. And so the markets are now calmer. Everything's less jittery. People are less scared. Market's all about fear. Market is all about
Why is
anxiety and
that?
fear.
Fear of missing out.
I
FOMO.
think FOMO. Right. The market's got FOMO of money flow. Like you gotta understand, like, in my experience in dealing with large amounts of money and working at the bank and just my own personal finance stuff, I've realized, like, fear and money inside the human psyche or in the human heart are intertwined like a DNA helix. It's almost impossible to, like, disentangle fear and money inside the human being. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens. And so, fear. You're smiling. Yeah, you okay?
DNA helix is not almost impossible to untangle. Just saying.
How many DNA helixes have you untangled?
Happens just about every second that you're alive.
No shit.
Yeah,
Drop
it's
some
going right now
knowledge.
for all of us. DNA ligase breaking it apart. DNA helicase.
Did you say DNA legs spreading apart?
DNA ligase is cutting it apart. DNA helicase is unwinding it.
All
We
right.
What
can
about
keep
the
going, but
DNA
I don't want to keep going.
pillowcase?
Yeah, we got a doctor.
That makes it softer.
Can't say what you want to say now. You gotta fact
He's
check yourself.
smart, yeah. You just fact checked me.
Yeah.
All right. You just fat shamed me.
All right.
All right. So money and fear. That's why. That's why the stock market is so sensitive, because especially Americans, I think, in our culture in the West, we're so tied into money. It's like we define ourselves by money. It's like my identity and my self-worth. And
What's your net worth, Kareem? Or Amer?
You call me Kareem. Oh man, did you just do a microaggression on me, Chris?
I did.
Man, anyone else? I'd throw him through that glass window. You? I'll kiss you on your forehead.
Yes.
What's my net worth?
Yeah. What's your net worth, bro?
My network.
Thank you. That's what it is.
Man, I'm embarrassed. I mean, I struggle. I'm afraid to say my net worth publicly. To be honest with
Don't
you.
say it publicly. I was being sarcastic.
I know, but let's talk about this for a second. Like, this is an issue, I think, in our culture. No one wants to talk about how much money they make, how much money they have
your
saved.
net worth is your self-worth.
Unfortunately, that's what most people. That's how they live. Net
Yeah.
worth is their self-worth.
So
How much money do I got in the bank? That's gonna tell me how valuable I am as
Oh,
do I
of
like me or
course.
not. It's bullshit.
in other cultures though, it's the weirdest thing, but it's like normal. It's normal to ask how much you make. So when I was in Turkey, we were like sitting with a group of people, and it's like, okay, go around, say your job, and say how much you make, and everyone's just like,
What?
this is weird.
So
Look how
everyone
we
just
just laughed
lies?
at that. Look, we're like, we're fucking crazy. But you know what? That's actually healthy. Like, The fact that we like hide money and we don't talk about it and we keep it in the shadows, man, that shit's got us by our balls, man. We're so scared, you know. So no one can do anything ballsy with money. Like, I think everyone's just anxious, and so you see the stock market jittery all the time. What?
Why? Can I ask, do y'all know why? What's the difference in cultures?
I feel like for them it's just more open, like, oh, everyone in this position is gonna make the same amount of money. So like, if I tell you that I make this much, it's like you understand.
Okay.
I do this profession. I'm gonna make this much money.
Oh, okay.
They're educating each other.
Yeah.
So it's like a way of helping each other out, like this is
I
what
think
you
so.
should be making,
Right,
or what you should.
right.
Okay.
Right. I think that's my guess. But another thing is when people talk about money, right? It takes its power away. It takes the grip it has on our balls away. You know, all the fear we have about money goes away a little bit. So yeah. So here's what to do, right? Stock market. Here's my opinion. All right. Number one, keep investing. Every week, I tell y'all, staying the course, not giving up. Even when it's scary, just stay, keep investing every week. 20% of your paycheck. Put it on automatic through Robinhood or Stash. Automatic. Don't even think. Before money even hits your account, it should be going into a savings account or a brokerage account, a stock account. Just do it. Let it go for 10, 20 years. After 10, 20 years, you can be like, holy shit, I got 100 grand. Or I got 200 grand.
And then can you start telling everyone your net worth?
Absolutely. That's
Yeah,
when you want to
shit.
brag about that
Okay.
shit.
But in 20 years, you have 100 grand. But how much money did you put in the stock market?
250.
I mean, look, historically, if you look at the data, the stock market returns about 10% per year. All right, so over 20 years, you'd hope that each year it's going up 10%. I believe that if you do 10% a year, I believe that doubles. The money doubles
Every
in
10 years.
Is it? I thought it was 7. Is it 10?
Maybe it's 7.
So somewhere between 7 and 10 years.
Yeah,
Let's just say 7. All right. So if you put in, let's say, over the next 5 years, let's say you put in, I don't know, 10 grand, right? Within in 7 years, in the 7-year window of some of that money, it should double. That 5 grand should become 10 grand. You know what I'm saying? If you put in 50 grand, it should be 100 grand. You know what I'm saying? So over 14 years, it'll quadruple. Over 20 years, it should go 8 times. So if you put in 5 grand in 20 years, it should be, if you put in 5 grand today, it should be 40 grand in 20 years. If you put in 50 grand today, right, it should be 400 grand in 20 years. Man, I don't know if I got that right. Is that right?
It's magic. It sounded right, and I'm all in.
It sounds cool though. I like that kind of money. Being able to double.
Right?
That sounds like
You're
a
not
good
doing
idea.
anything. It's working for you.
Well, doesn't it it doubles even faster if you're like consistently putting money in, like the compounding interest compounds interest.
That's what I'm saying.
Compounding interest.
That's what I'm saying. It's not an easy calculation, but let's just say today you had 5 grand. That will be 40 grand. If today you have 50 grand and you put it in today, you know, I believe if my math is correct. I got to double check this. It'll be 400 grand in 20 years. It's crazy.
Now I have a question for you, because I've been talking about this with my family, and I feel like someone always says, have some money saved in cash to the side somewhere. What do you think of that?
It's called the backup stash.
Yeah.
That backup stash, I recommend everyone have it because it gives you a mojo that most people don't have on the street. It gives you like a confidence and a swag that most people don't have. Knowing that you have like 5 grand somewhere tucked away that you just need for like a slush fund, like a rainy day fund, like it changes a person's psychology. Another thing, life insurance. You know, that you can give to like your mom or your wife or your girlfriend, whoever. That if you die, you'll get $1 million. Sometimes those things are only like $50 a month.
Do you have life insurance?
I do.
Oh, really?
Yeah. What if I pass away? What if I walk out right now, God forbid, and I get hit by a bus?
I just like every life insurance salesman is so skeezy that I'm just like, this has to be a
Well,
scam.
You don't
Not mine.
don't have kids, do you?
Not that I know of.
Amma has 2 kids. He has to
Think about that,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, you have to play the game.
I pay $100 a month, and if I die in the next 30 years, so before 68, my wife and kids will get $2 million.
Wow.
That's how much you're worth?
They don't know that, right?
That part is what I'm worth. That's just that part.
What
You
if you
haven't
die?
told them that, right?
Hell no, I would never tell them that shit. You crazy? And they think they don't listen to this podcast. They think it sucks.
What do you do? What about after 68? What happens if you pass away after 68?
They're on their own, man. Fuck that. You know what I mean?
Also, the life insurance doesn't. You don't get nothing.
This one that I bought is called term, which means it only goes for a term, period, 30 years. But you can buy what's called whole life insurance. It'll go your whole life. I bought term because I was like, it's cheap. It's so cheap. It's $100 a month, $1,200 a year to fit. Dude, I sleep so much better at night, knowing like if I, God forbid, if I get hit by a bus. First of all, if I get hit by a bus outside right now, I need you guys to call an ambulance. That's number one. Number two.
Well, we got it.
How
right
much
here.
do we get?
I got you.
No, you're an ER tech. Don't me. I need you to call the ambulance. Don't try and fix me.
Bro,
on
I'll
it.
just start doing CPR right away, whether you need it or not.
You promise to kiss me on the
That's
lips?
so sweet.
That's so funny.
Maybe once or twice.
Aren't your cousins? What's happening right here? Y'all
Kissing
been-
cousins.
Kissing cousins, dog.
Oh, but y'all been watching Game of Thrones? Y'all
Oh man, yo, these people are having sex with like their aunts. This is crazy. I can't imagine ever having sex with an aunt, unless
Yeah,
maybe it's
they're
like
so
aunt.
small. They probably like bite you and like what are you having sex
Oh,
with?
aunts?
Pie?
No, man, I'm talking about aunts, like my mom's sister, my dad's sister. Those kind of aunts. The only time I got ever think of having sex with an aunt, it'd be like Aunt Jemima. That's it. But
there's a lot of
She make you
puns on
Because
that.
she's so sweet.
afterwards.
she's so sweet.
But
Yo,
no,
today, I was this close. For those listening, I'm holding my index and thumb finger really close together. I was this close to putting maple syrup in my tea.
why?
There was no honey.
Do it.
A lot of people do that.
What? Canadians, maybe.
Probably. I mean, for them, it's like raining maple syrup.
I know, right?
Were you wearing a denim jacket at the time?
No, I was wearing this blue vest.
Close enough.
Was you butt naked at the time?
I was at work, so yes.
Just the best.
I'm a director of a porno adult film. Why would the director be naked? That doesn't make any sense.
He's trying to feel out the moment, you know. It's a special moment.
He's trying to inspire the actors.
Exactly.
All right.
Testing the product. All right.
Exactly. Testing the quality control. All right. So number one, what to do in these crazy markets? Stay the course. Keep investing your 20%. I always talk about this rule: 60-20-20. 60% for your expenses.
Let me ask you this real
Go.
quick. So I'm trying to. We talked about this. I want to do it, but how? Where do you start? I know you said these apps, but why should I trust an app? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
That's my fear. What do I? Is there a book I can read? Something you could something?
No, man.
So-
Honestly, for you,
We know a
someone
really
like you,
good podcast you can listen to.
for real, for
Shameless
you,
plug.
someone talking to someone like me, or someone else, maybe not just me, but maybe another one or two people. Like your girlfriend's Jewish, right? I guarantee you.
Just borrow some of her gold.
No, listen. St. James has this great joke. Please, all right, you got it. I mean, I'm sorry to put you on the spot
Oh,
here
no,
and
I
set
tell
you
the
up.
joke.
On
You want
the
me-
spot.
But it's like it's about him and his girlfriend being Jewish. And what if they had kids, right?
That's it. And my fear is if we have kids because she's black. I mean, because I'm black and she's Jewish, they might come out as slaves. Our kids might be the first kids to rob banks that they own.
Man, favorite joke, man. All right, so now that we move down from racism. So yeah, seriously, it'd be talking to like one or two or three people that you trust, and you're like, I trust these people. Seem like they know what they're doing, and just hearing it from them, and then your brain would be like, I get it. Like, all right, I am supposed to do this. You could read a book that'll help, but like I think that's way too big of an investment of time for someone like you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're doing comedy. It'd probably be a smaller amount. If you were to like inherit $1 million, I'd be like, yo, read a book, talk to me. Let's get you a broker. Let's get you someone to talk to that's even smarter than me. You know, which very few people are smarter than me. So I don't know how we got this person. No. So yeah, I think for you, just talking to someone who's already invested in the market, I'd recommend. And getting safe. So now, what would you do? Well, Yahya and Chris, and I think Kareem as well. Since this podcast has started, they have opened up what's called Robinhood accounts, this app, or stash accounts. And what these accounts allow you to do is buy and sell stocks or stock funds without paying a fee. Usually, when you go online to E-Trade or something, they'll charge you $10 each time you want to do something. But these accounts for free, up to like a certain number per month. So let's say you make $500 a month. right? You tell them, or let's say you make a month.
No.
Let's say you
A
make
week?
a week. So let's say you make $2,000 a month. You'd have it automatically take 20% of that out of your bank and invest in the market. All right, it would go. You'd open up your Robinhood account, your stash account. Let's call it Robinhood. You open up your Robinhood account, attach your bank information to the Robinhood account. It'll just keep pulling 20% of $2,000. It pull $400 a month. 400, that $5,000 in 2019, hopefully, will be a huge number in 20 years. That it could be. I mean, if my math is right, I gotta go check my math. It could be $5,000 be $40,000 in 20 years. Now let's say you did that in 2020 as well, and now you have $10,000. Now you're talking about $80,000. Let's say you did that over the next 5 years. 5. That's $25,000. That would be worth 200 G's in 20 years.
Hey, Amer, would it be fair to say that the reason the rich get richer and the poor get poorer is basically due to compounding interest?
I wouldn't say that. I'd say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer because our fucking economy sucks. It blows big black cock. That's what.
That's offensive.
I'm sorry to.
Why it gotta be big? Why can't it be
big, small?
Why can't it be average black cock? All right.
Average size black cock. Yeah, it's very, very racist. Forgive me for that. No, seriously, our economy is set up in a way where Jeff Bezos, Warren Buffett, Ray Dalio, these people get super, super rich. I mean, we're talking like billions. They got billions of dollars, man. Warren Buffett's got so much money, he gave it all away. $100 billion. And then the rest of us, like just about everyone else, has nothing. Here, I'll give you a statistic. Ready? 90% of the population in America, 90%, 9 out of 10 people. So just about everyone in this room, right? If you add up all the money they have, it's equal to not the top 1%, not the 1%. You've heard about the 1%, right? Not the one. It's equal to the 0.1%. The 1/10 of the 1%. That 1/10 has the same amount of money that basically the rest of the country, 90% of the country has. You're trying to tell me that our economy works? Hell no, it don't work.
No, it does work, just for some people.
For the 0.1%.
Exactly.
For the people that invest.
Yeah, I mean, I think Trump should call a national emergency, not for a separation wall. He should call a national emergency for this shit. Yeah. Like, where's the compassion? Where's the balance, the harmony? Like, this shit ain't sustainable.
E-harmony.
So what are you saying we should do to change? I mean, them. The economy.
I mean, look, man, this is what I've realized in my own life. Like, I don't like it that
you gotta play the game.
Yeah, man. I just learned to play the game, man. I don't like it. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like guilty sometimes that I'm working my ass off and trying to invest and make some money, and I'm like, most of the other people aren't making good money, and so I feel guilty. But like, you know, this is the reality of the situation we're in.
Well, that's why you made this show.
There you go.
Yeah.
Boom. Also to find Also to find my comedy voice.
Yeah.
Actually, that's the main reason.
Yeah, these niggas, bro. I really came out here for one thing, man.
Who wants to help, man? All right, so number one, stay the course. Open up a Robinhood account, get it automatically feeding into what's called index funds. For example, you type in Robinhood when you open up the app and you connect your account. SPY. Very simple. Just have it automatically buy SPY every month, $400 worth, you know. So yeah, that's number one. Stay the course. We're gonna have volatility in this market. Stay the course. Now, number two, there are some people who are smart and they have some powder dry. They're like, yo, I got an extra $15,000 or $10,000 or 20. Should I invest it now, Amer? Hell no. I still don't believe in this market. I'm sorry. All right. China is slowing down. Their economy they were getting really hot. They were growing quickly to become the biggest economy in the world, take over the freaking world, and everything's slowing down now, right? So that ain't going away anytime soon. You don't just restart an economy overnight. It's not like you just change the alternator and suddenly the car's running again. No, it ain't like that.
No, you build a wall and then everything's fine.
Speaking of wall, I mean, China.
Go ahead. Now, you said speaking of wall, I was going to ask, can you tell me about the government shutdown? But
we going to get to that.
Okay, cool.
But like speaking of wall, China actually built the wall. You know that, right? The Great Wall of China. Literally, the Ming Dynasty was just like Donald Trump. They were super rich. They were always in these like lavish castles and luxury robes and shit. And they're like, yo, these Mongols keep destroying us. Have you heard of like the Mongols, like Genghis Khan and all these people, right? They kept like coming from the north of China because up north there it was always like really cold and there was no. So they'd always come down into China, like steal a bunch of grains and shit because China wouldn't trade with them. They would not trade with the Mongols. They come in, they plunder, they steal all this shit, and then they go back up north.
They had their own trade war.
Yeah, literally. And so China's like, F this, like we need to build a wall to have these people stop coming in. It's like, yeah, why don't you just trade with the Mongols? Like, no, we could never do that shit. So they build a wall, and then the Mongols, literally, I'm not even kidding. You know what they did?
What?
They went around the fucking wall. So China every 100 years would just add more to the Great Wall of China. They just keep adding more.
I never knew that.
Yeah. So Trump is like, yo, why don't we just have a conversation with the Latin Americans and figure out, like, we need them. Like, they need us. We need them. I'm sorry. It's not a one-way street. But Trump thinks it's a one-way street.
Xenophobia wins elections.
There you go.
Baby.
But not every time. Not every time.
No, I don't think he'll win again.
So that's China and why I don't believe this market is just going to start rising again. Number 2 is technology companies. Yo, Facebook, dumpster fire. Snapchat, building fire. Tall building fire. Snapchat's having major problems. And
Like what? Why you say that? Like stock wise?
yeah, like they did.
Oh, because it's over for them. Nobody cares about Snapchat.
Well, I mean, part of the reason is because their management, like this young dude, Evan Sperry, is that his name? Evan something. I forget his name. He's the CEO. Like, he can't keep executives. It seems like he just keeps having major executives at the top who are running the company. They just keep leaving on him. You know? So, anyway, technology companies are still having major problems. Facebook, Snapchat, Apple reported a decline in earnings. And then I'm just waiting for Google and Netflix to have some problems. I mean, Google's been having some problems in Europe with monopoly shit. So my point is, and then finally, China and the trade war. You know, the trade war is starting to get a little better, but still, China and the U.S. are not trading like they were before. So, like, there's so many problems that can happen with the global economy. I'm like, yo, don't be putting money, like powder dry. Don't be putting money you have in the market if you have extra money. Do keep putting in 20% of your pay. Do not put anything above and beyond that. If it were me, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? So
I have a question.
Go.
A few weeks ago, we were talking about how Trump said that, they made a deal with China, and then China's like, whoa, this never really happened, and all that. What's the situation of that now? And
yeah.
As you can tell, I don't watch the news or.
All good, brother.
Good for you, man.
Yeah, pick up a newspaper, would you?
What's paper?
I know, right? Damn. Bless you. What's the status of that? What's happening is some trade representatives, some people from Trump's cabinet keep flying back and forth from China trying to resolve shit before March 1st. There's a March 1st deadline. If they don't figure shit out by March 1st, Trump is going to put another 25% tax on Chinese goods, which means it's just going to hurt our economy more and it's going to hurt Chinese economy more. You know, it's kind of the equivalent of building the wall between us and Mexico.
But two wrongs make a right, so
in Trump's world, hell
should
yeah.
be perfect.
Exactly. So,
let me ask you this: has Trump done anything productive?
there have been, you want to know something funny?
Good question.
You know that Kanye West, Kim Kardashian prison law reform? Trump passed that shit. He put the legislation forward, passed it. So, I mean, that's a strong piece of legislation that improves the prison system in the United States.
What does it do?
You know, I don't know anyone know the details of it?
I read up
I think
on
it
later.
fixes the girlfriend problem, where like if you're
Really?
if your girlfriend is like in the house while you're doing drug deals, then she goes to prison for as long as you do. Which is insane.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was
I watched
prison
a
reform.
documentary on it.
Oh, for real?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a good thing?
Yeah, because they don't need to be going to prison.
Oh, you're saying they don't go to prison?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
They switched it so the girlfriend doesn't go to prison.
There you go. And I think it also helps certain people in prison. Certain prisoners in prison, like. But I'm sorry, I didn't read up too much on that. I don't know. But that's one good thing he did. You know. I mean, like he has good intentions. I think sometimes, like with this trade war, Like there are issues with China. Like they steal a lot of intellectual property from us. Like Huawei, this Chinese company.
Huawei?
Have you heard of this company?
No.
It's called Huawei.
Okay.
Whose way?
They've been stealing some shit from
Whose
T-Mobile.
way? Yeah.
They've been stealing some shit from T-Mobile, and so we're trying to get them to stop stealing shit. So I mean, he's got good intentions. He's just kind of like instead of using a hammer to hammer in nails, he's using like a
Jackhammer.
jackhammer. He's using one of those to put in a little nail. You know what I'm saying? That's what he does.
And his hair is all flying around. It looks ridiculous.
You don't like his hair?
I wasn't saying that I didn't like his hair. I love his hair.
All right, list. So that's number one. Stay the course. Number two, if you got powder dry, don't invest.
How many keys of powder are we talking here?
Depends on what's. I got nothing for you. All right, let's move on. Shutdown. You were asking about the shutdown of St. James.
I'm ready.
First of all, great questions.
Thank you.
Nice beard.
Thank you.
Good questions.
Thank you.
What up, CB?
Hey, guy.
Shutdown. Right now, we're flying blind. Imagine an airplane pilot flying from, I don't know, Chicago to San Francisco. He's got an airplane with 200 people inside of it. Yeah.
And he just saw the movie Bird Box.
Yeah.
And he's doing the Bird Box challenge.
I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't either.
You don't need to. It's not that good.
All I know is there's someone.
Overrated?
All I know is there's someone with a blindfold.
So everyone I know that has watched a movie is like, this is amazing. And then I know one movie critic and he's like, okay, this movie's garbage. Like, guys,
No
relax.
shit.
Yeah.
Wow. Netflix announced that 1/3 of their viewers, of their subscribers, watched the movie.
Sandra Bullock, baby.
There you go. So, an airplane pilot. He's in United Airplane, 200 people flying Chicago, San Francisco. No visibility. Wipers are going crazy. Lightning is striking. Clouds. It's dark. He just can't see shit. And then his tachometer, odometer, speedometer, all go out.
Oh, my God.
Can you imagine that shit?
It's like the movie Airplane.
Like the movie Airplane. Great movie. Yo, that's what's happening with our economy right now.
Oh, well, I thought this was real. I thought this was a real story.
Metaphorically, it is. Yo, like, for real, like, one important part of the economy, for example, is having, like, the Federal Reserve review data about how much shit we're buying and how much stuff we're doing, economic activity. A lot of these reports are not even coming out because government employees aren't working anymore. A lot of them, right? There's 800,000 of these government employees. 380,000, I believe, are furloughed, meaning they're at home.
Yep.
And then 420,000 are working without pay. You want to see them? Go to the airport and you'll see an angry TSA agent, fucking not getting paid.
What if they all just stop working?
Some are striking, I heard. And I'm like, I'm afraid to go. I'm afraid to book a flight and go to somewhere because, like, I don't know if I'm gonna. How bad is that at the airport?
I got a flight next week that I'm like really not excited about.
Yeah, like,
same.
who knows?
Yeah.
So here's the economic effects. Let's just talk about that. So number one, we're not getting all the data that we need to see what's going on with the economy. You gotta understand, data that the government collects on all the shit we're buying, selling, spending, whatever, is like the lifeblood, like the blood of the economy if it was a human being. Like, it literally is like blood running through our body. We need data to know what's going on with the economy so that we can decide what to do. All right. So government spending, number one. The government is one of the biggest spenders in the world. They take all our taxes and then they buy shit. And 380,000 federal employees not going to work, a lot of less shit is getting bought in the government. The government's just not buying as much shit. So that's kind of starting to hurt our economy. And then, of course, we talked about the unpaid, 800,000 unpaid employees. Like, that's going to have a huge impact on consumer spending. Like, they're just not buying as much shit as they were before.
Do we have to pay them back?
Yeah, furlough means once the government reopens, they'll get the money back from previous weeks that they missed. But it's like, sometimes it's really a cash flow thing. Like, if you don't have the cash now, how are you going to buy your Cheerios? You know what I'm saying? Like, you need that.
Exactly.
So would this help the banks a lot? Because then they can make a bunch of, like,
Loans?
loan a bunch of people money that don't understand how the economy actually works at like a really high APR, and then like 2 months from now, when everyone starts getting paid, screw everyone over when they realize that their $1,000 check all of a sudden costs them like $5,000.
Have you ever tried to go to the bank and get a loan?
No.
They don't just hand out loans to anyone. You know what I'm saying? Maybe they're using credit cards, and then they're gonna have to pay interest on those credit cards. So that's a bigger expense. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I mean, so banks who have credit cards are probably making a little bit of money on this. You know?
Because there's a lot of apps now where you can like, get $100 this week and just pay it back next week, and then some of them have like 33% APR.
Yeah, it's
like,
really not fair. Yeah, that's not cool. But
we call that a millennial trap.
Yeah. Contractors, government contractors. So like, there's a lot of people who don't work for the government. They work for like some company, but they contract with the government. Like they have a contract with the government. Like what's an example of that, man? Security, right? So the government can hire an outside security company, you know, and they'll pay them whatever thousands and thousands of dollars, but they're not paying any contractors. So a lot of these companies are starting to lay off their contractors because they don't have money to pay their employees. So that's hurting those people and consumer spending in the country. Because a lot of these contractors and employees of the government aren't getting paid, they're flying less. And because TSA is like kind of question marks around it right now, people in general are probably going to start being afraid of flying and not book as much stuff right now. That's hurting the economy too. Small Business Administration, y'all ever heard of this group, SBA?
Yeah.
These guys are not approving any loans right now for entrepreneurs. That's stopping the economy too. It's been estimated that this shutdown shaves 0.2% off of GDP growth. Our economy shrinks 0.2% for every 2 weeks that the economy shut down. So in dollars, we're losing as a country $42 billion every 2 weeks.
Wow.
Every month, about $100 billion. You know, that is the shutdown. SJJ. Not a good situation. And I don't think Trump is like really actually internalized.
Because he's rich. He doesn't care.
I mean,
or know how it works.
Both.
Yeah, I don't think he really gets like I don't think he gets what's happening. You know, that's unfortunate, man.
So why did the shutdown happen? That was my question. What sparked it?
The way the government works is in order to spend money, if they don't have it, they got to borrow it. And the world will lend America money easily. But to borrow it, they usually have to do what's called increase the debt limit, meaning like they got to raise the credit card limit for the government. So the Congress itself has to approve that, hey, yes, the United States can borrow another $100 billion to keep the government running. The Democrats passed a bill to say, yo, here's all the spending we want to do. Please give us approval, senators and president, sign off on it. When Trump saw the bill, it included a lot of spending for a lot of things, but it did not include money for
This wall.
the wall. He's like, yo, I ain't signing shit if it comes to my desk. And so they're like, why not? He's like, I want a wall. Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer. Nancy Pelosi is the Speaker of the House. She's like, Dad, I'm not giving you a wall. We don't want a wall. He's like, then I'm not signing your bill. That's why. He's trying to put up walls.
Yeah.
For real.
You know, so one of my friends made an interesting comment today, actually, about the government shutdown, kind of saying how, with the government shutting down, why don't other countries kind of like view us as like being weak for not being able to even keep our government open, you know, and then why it might cause problems in the future for us. I don't know. Someone was mentioning that to me.
Meaning other countries see us as weak?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We're not able to legislate. We're not able to like get along.
Yeah.
In
And
Washington.
they were saying how that might like view us as weak and therefore cause problems, like maybe I don't know, like tension or someone attacking us or something like that.
Yeah, this would be a good time for like China or someone or terrorists to attack us because like we're on our heels right now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're just not spending. Everyone's feeling a little vulnerable. The best part of this whole thing. So Trump has a State of the Union address coming up. Y'all heard about this?
Oh yeah.
And Nancy Pelosi sent him. So the way this works is the president has to be invited to the House of Representatives, to the House, to Congress. He has to be invited by the Speaker of the House to say, please come and give the State of the Union to all Congress. Right? And so she sent him a letter saying, hey, you're supposed to be giving the State of the Union next week or whatever. Please don't come. Because the government shut down, there's no money to pay security to make sure the Capitol is safe for all these important people to come. So reschedule it. If you want, you could write a letter. But we can't do this. I'm not inviting you. The next day, now mind you, she's scheduled to go to Brussels, Afghanistan, and Egypt yesterday with a bunch of like congressmen. They're doing like some sort of like international tour, visiting the troops and things like that. And so a lot of the legislators, not her, but a lot of them got on buses and they're getting ready to go to they go on like special military airplanes, right? That the military provides them. They don't fly commercial, you know what I'm saying? They don't fly on United, especially for a thing like this with a lot of important people of the U.S. government. Imagine that plane going down. That's not cool.
Oh, yeah.
And so get this. Trump is commander-in-chief, which means he basically has power over the military. He sends her a note back saying, hey, I'm canceling your airplane. Y'all can't go on this trip to Brussels, Afghanistan, and Egypt. I mean, there were like legislators like in buses trying to get on this plane. And so he just like, she punched him with the State of the Union. He punched her right back.
Hey, buddy's a bully. Oh, shit. He's a straight bully. All right.
That's what he is. So this shutdown like is just getting escalated, man. I don't know what's next. You know what I'm saying? What y'all think of that?
It was a lot to take in.
Sounds like a bunch of children.
It sounds like I need to go rob Macy's before they bring back the security guards. Go early Christmas shopping, you know?
Yeah, about 11 months early. All right, let's move on. We're gonna invite my grandma on.
Swag.
All right. Hello, everyone. I am Zarifa, Amer's grandmother. How are you, Mr. St. James?
Pretty good.
Good, nice to see. Good arm. You have very good arms.
I know you like that.
Yes.
You need a back massage?
If you're giving, I'm taking.
Yeah, but don't tell Amer. This between us, okay?
You better not tell him. Hello, Yahya.
Hi, Grandma. How you doing?
Very nice.
I missed you.
I miss you too. Very nice boy. Very nice boy.
Thank you.
Kareem, nice to see you.
Hey, Khalto, how are you?
Very good. Habibi, very good. Chris,
Hey, Zarifa.
you know I like you so much because you help Amer.
Yeah.
Good boy.
Thank you. I appreciate
Good.
that.
Very nice beard.
Yeah. It's getting there. It's no Yahia's beard, but
Who is Yahya?
I'm working on it.
Who
He's
is
this guy.
Okay, listen, Chris.
Yeah.
Can you convince him to make beard like you?
Convince Yahia to make a beard like me?
His name Yahya. What the hell wrong with you?
I don't know. I just read it like it's spelled.
Okay. Yes, make his beard like your beard.
Okay.
Good. Yahya, make him Muslim.
Why would I downgrade my beard?
Because it will upgrade your dating life.
Ooh.
Ooh, I don't agree with
I
that
thought you're
statement.
supposed to
Shots
love me and
fired.
support me through everything, Grandma Zarifa.
Look, I don't like big beard.
And
Okay?
she cannot lie.
I like big heart.
And big.
Why can't I have both?
Arms.
Look, my friends. I'm very sad today. Very, very sad. There is a man who I used to hang out with back in the 50s and 60s. His name, John Bogle. John Bogle, 2 days ago, he passed away. You understand? I'm very sad. This man, he was older than me. He's 89 years old.
Dad, how old are you? I thought you was like 95.
No, I 88.
Oh, 88. I'm
Yes,
sorry. You
that's
look
okay.
beautiful for 88.
Thank you, you handsome devil. This man was one of the greatest. Yes, what do you have to say, Kareem?
You're making him blush.
He's black, it's impossible.
You made it happen.
No. St. James, you blush?
Yeah, I turned purple. That's what happened to me. You're real purple. You know, look like Barney. You know who Barney is?
You think I'm stupid?
No.
I know Barney.
You know Barney?
Yes.
She knew him personally.
He once tried to grab me. I punch him in the face.
Oh man, you know Barney stay out here getting me too. He's a bad boy.
Very bad boy. Look, back to Mr. John Bogle. This man, he was a giant. Do you know giant? He's a giant. This man, he started a company in 1970. Maybe 1975, I don't know, somewhere in the 70s. And this man, he created a company called Vanguard. Anyone know Vanguard?
Oh yeah.
I've heard of it.
Great company. They have $5 trillion in assets at this company. Now look, John Bogle.
That's like my net worth.
Your net worth, yes. Chris,
I'm being honest, like the people in Turkey.
you are Chris, please, for one time before the podcast,
Yeah.
please
Okay.
stop taking mushroom.
I mean, you know, I'd already made it, and I was like a bit hungry, so I don't know. Maybe next time.
Just on your pizza next time, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
Deal.
Look, John Bogle, he's special man. Why? Because this man, he created something called Index Mutual Fund. He made it possible. This man is so great. He made it possible for Americans, everyone in the world actually, to buy many stocks at one time for very, very cheap price. You understand? Before, it was too difficult for a regular investor like you or me to buy hundreds of stocks. Why is this important? Because you don't want to buy one or two or three stock. You want diversification. You want to diversify your portfolio. Okay? Why you laugh at me, St. James? Why?
You're just so beautiful.
Oh,
Sometimes I can't help it.
can you come kiss me, please?
Not on the podcast.
Okay, after.
Yeah. Keep it
Okay.
professional.
Very good. Listen, this man create index funds. For example, ETF. Do you know ETF? ETF.
Yeah, the extraterrestrial.
No, Chris.
He's-
Chris. What is your
It's a great
problem?
movie.
Stop with the mushroom.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, it's very good movie.
I
but
thought I could
Ve-
stop anytime.
it's a
but
very good movie,
I
but John Bogle create the index fund. This man, okay. Some people they say the invention of the index fund, okay, was more important than the printer. You know the printer, print paper.
Wow.
The index fund is that important.
Wow.
He helped put more money. He helped and he take money away from financial company. He's one of the only men who do this.
So how exactly did he do that? Like, how did he create this index mutual fund, or what? Like, what was different that it wasn't before?
It was always too expensive for a regular investor to buy one stock. If you buy 300 stock, imagine you pay $10. It's too much. So this man create technology to bundle all these stocks together, and you buy one time as investor $10, and you now suddenly have exposure to hundreds of stocks. Index fund.
So it's
It's genius.
Automatically diversify portfolio.
gotcha. So it spreads the $10 upon multiple stocks.
Well, no. The $10 was the brokerage fee. The you know how Robinhood, you pay nothing to buy stock.
Okay.
You know, in back in the day, you pay $10, $20 to buy stock. Each time you transaction fee.
I gotcha. Okay.
With one transaction fee, you buy hundreds of stocks.
Now I understand. Thank you.
Very special, man.
Thank you.
He made investors richer and investment banks poorer. Only man who did this. Everyone else, garbage. I miss you, John.
I miss him too.
I miss our days when we used to go walk in the park.
How did you guys meet?
Oh, it was over coffee. We drink Arabic Arabic coffee, the black one?
Of course.
Yes. Some people call it Turkish coffee,
Uh-huh.
and some people call it Lebanese coffee.
Okay.
The point is, he wanted to become Muslim one day.
Okay.
So he came talk to me.
Uh-huh.
I tell him, listen, John, we have enough Muslim. Okay, we would love to have you. But, I don't know if you are serious.
Mm-hmm.
I told him,
How did you test him to see if he was serious?
I told him, if you're serious, go read the Quran.
Uh-huh. What did he do?
He read the Quran.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
What did he think?
He thought it was very good.
Mm-hmm.
So I invite him.
Did the Quran in one way or another kind of inspire his creation of the index funds?
It wouldn't surprise me, Chris.
Yeah.
Very good point. You're a smart man. Maybe the
Thanks.
mushroom, huh?
Yeah, it like opens up all my neural pathways. That's why I
like.
take it.
Very good.
I'm just trying to keep up with you.
So this man very special. And his advice always, he's a sage. You know sage?
Mm-hmm.
Not like the herb.
Oh, not like the
Like,
green.
He gave not like the sage advice. Like
okay.
someone who's very wise. Very wise. He always say, stay the course. Don't buy, sell the market. Just buy
Like
slowly.
don't play in like the rough or like off the golf course. You saying
Exactly. Stay on the course, not
Uh-huh.
off the course.
on the fairway?
You got it. Don't give up. And very humble man, very ethical man, very simple man. He did want to become Muslim, but somehow I lost his phone number
Mm-hmm.
and I never called him again.
Sounds like you ghosted him, Zarifa.
Okay, fine. That's why I ghosted him, Chris. He tried to catfish me, so it's not fully all my fault.
Yeah.
Did you at least get some of his money?
No,
You
I
get-
try.
You didn't get no money?
Nothing. I try. But he said, listen, Zarifa, back up. I say, okay. I back up.
Zarifa, it sounds like you're a bit of a muse.
Too many men, not just
Yeah.
John Bogle.
I know.
John Bogle, I miss you. I love you. Okay, boys, I have to go because I'm very sad about John Bogle. Okay, just make a prayer for me, everyone. Can you pray for City Zarifa?
We'll pray for you.
Saint James, will you pray?
Yeah.
Okay, because you're saint.
Do you believe in?
You're saint. Please pray.
Do you believe in
Magic?
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man.
Jesus, yes.
Been Jesus, black Jesus or white Jesus?
Of course, he's Arabic Jesus.
Oh, he is? Okay, so brown Jesus.
Yeah, well, he's Mediterranean. He was Jewish, no?
Yeah, he was
Olive
Jewish.
Jesus.
Olive Jesus, yes.
Olive Jesus.
Boys, I love you very much.
Amen.
Okay.
Don't-
Please say prayer for me, especially Saint James, because you're a saint. I love you very much. Goodbye, huh?
Call me
Bye,
later.
Zarifa.
You send me booty call.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
I hope Zarifa's my muse someday.
Boys, we got to wrap this up soon. I got to talk to you about one last thing.
Let's do it.
WeWork.
Where?
Everywhere. WeWork is a company that, like with all the Facebook, Google, tech companies, Netflix, everyone, WeWork kind of like grew up with those kind of companies thinking it's a tech company. What they do basically is they'll rent 5 floors of a big building. They'll convert them. They'll put in beer taps. They'll put in brick wall, wood floor. They'll make it look cool, hipsterish. And then people will come in and rent for a month or two, or they'll rent for a year. And it's kind of a cool environment. So that's what they did for a long time. Their CEO, this dude named Adam Newman, he was the CEO. And, he gave off the vibe of the Mark Zuckerberg vibe and so on and so forth. This company got big because the economy started changing and a lot of people started needing, a lot of people started leaving corporate jobs and just doing their own thing. And people just I need a co-working space.
Mm-hmm.
I'll get an office at WeWork. $300 a month, $500 a month, whatever. So WeWork started exploding. They were renting floors out of every building in every city. Then they go international. Became huge. Word just came out. So this dude Adam Newman got rich. His investors kept giving him money. His investors kept giving him money, and he was able to keep building the company, renting more buildings. He would rent floors from a building and then rent them out again, but he'd fix them up and then rent them out again, but smaller pieces. Right? You guys get this,
Is
right?
this all throughout the U.S.
And international.
and international too?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He got big. So he grew rich off WeWork, right? And I'm sorry, guys.
Word just got
Take your
out
time.
that.
Yeah. So he's not only their CEO now, right? But this dude started buying up buildings himself. He'd buy a big building himself. Adam Newman, because he got rich from the company. He'd buy it himself in his name, Adam Newman. And then he'd take that building and he would rent it to WeWork. Does that make sense? You guys get that?
Yeah.
So he's paying himself.
We Work the Company is the tenant.
Yeah.
They're paying the landlord, Adam Newman.
Smart guy.
Gangster, right? But come on, that's shady shit, right?
Yeah.
This is the way you got to think about this dude. Right? This dude is slippery, super slippery. Like if I was hanging out with this dude, we were just at a bar or something talking, I'd have like one hand on my tea or coffee, whatever I'm drinking, and I have my other hand on my wallet the whole time. I don't trust this guy. This guy's a thief, man. Look, this is how it works. This is what this guy's doing. Imagine us five were good friends. All right, and I'm not good with money, and so you guys keep bailing me out, hooking me up with some cash, bailing me out. You don't even ask for a payback. You're like, oh, Amer, you're cool, man. Don't worry about it. Here's another $100. Here's another $100. Don't worry about it. And then one day we all said, hey, why don't we all move in together? We'll become good friends. I'm like, yo, I'll get the place. Don't worry about it. You all just pay me. You guys are like, cool. I go looking for places. I go and buy a place, maybe a condo, 4-bedroom. We all split it, right? We live in it together. But I buy the place, and let's say it's costing me $2,000 a month mortgage. And then I tell each of you guys, hey, yo, yeah, it's $1,000 bucks.
Each.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. So 1,000. Y'all pay me 4 G's. I'm paying the bank 2 G's. And so now I'm your landlord, and I'm making money off you guys. By the way, how did I get money to go buy this place?
From y'all.
From you guys. I got borrow money from you guys, right?
That's kind of just brilliant. Is that illegal?
Is this nickname Donald Trump?
Adam Newman, man. This dude is something.
My
Slip-
dad, when I was first in college, he was like, hey, Chris, what I did in college to avoid paying rent is I rented out a big-ass house and paid for the whole thing, and then just turned every closet and room and whatever into a room,
Yep.
and then rented it out for the entire price of the rent so I could live rent-free. And I was like, that's brilliant. I'm never going to do that, but I'm going to say it on a podcast one day.
Now, here's the thing. Here's the you can do that. That's cool.
Okay.
Here's the flip.
What's up?
What if your dad, for all the tenants in the place, were his close buddies, and by the way, they're the ones giving him money to go rent the place to begin with. That's what's messed up about this dude. His investors.
He might have done that.
This guy Adam's investors, the guys who made him who he is, the guys who kept giving him money to build up his company, they're the ones who made him rich. He's now charging them a whole lot of money for his buildings that he's renting back. Now, by the way, when he first tried to do this, the board of directors caught on to it. And they're like, yo, this is a conflict of interest. You can't do this shit. He's like, all right. The dude somehow finagles himself to become the controlling shareholder of the company, of WeWork, where he owns 65% of the voting power. Basically meaning, like, he can veto anything. He can decide, he's the most powerful person in the company. So he gets that power, and then he starts doing this where the board, and then suddenly the board starts approving everything. Yeah, sure, you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Totally sketchy dude. There's this one example in New York City where he bought a building with Ellie Tahari. Do you guys ever heard this name? This woman is a famous fashion designer. Him and Ellie paid $70 million for an address. I think it was 88 University in New York City. All right. IBM, the company, and all their executives take 5 floors. They rent it from him, right? And suddenly, like, they start like noticing the building is like not doing very good. And they're like, yo, why aren't the elevators working? This has been a problem for weeks. And so they're calling him. He's like a slumlord. He's like he's not even fixing this shit. You know what I'm saying? Yet he's charging them this crazy ass rent. So, look, the bottom line, WeWork, they ain't a tech company, right? He's trying to be like one of these Zuckerberg types or whatever. They're just a slippery real estate company like Donald Trump. That's what they are.
Well, didn't the guy, the founder of McDonald's, didn't he do
Ray
something
Kroc?
similar to that? Like, McDonald's just owned the most real estate of like any company.
That's where a lot of McDonald's value is real estate. Yeah, not just burgers and fries.
Yeah.
But again, it wasn't with it wasn't like they were. I don't think they're not. McDonald's not buying the real estate with their investors' money for Ray Kroc's purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Ray Kroc didn't get rich off his investors, and then now he's buying buildings for himself. No, I don't think Ray Kroc did that.
This reminds me of that scene in Wolf of Wall Street when he's on the golf course and his buddy hands him a duffel bag full of money, and he's like, "Yeah, this is my rat hole."
I don't remember that part.
Yeah, it's like
This is my rat hole? What does he mean by
he
that?
told his buddy, like, "Hey, sell at this point because we're gonna sell or something." And it, if he would do it, it would break the SEC laws.
Oh,
Yeah,
this is my rat hole.
yeah.
Damn. That was a great movie, man.
I know,
Wolf of
right?
Wall Street. You see that?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
That movie always hypes me up, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Makes you want to what?
I don't know. Start
Shave your beard?
investing
Keep
again.
powder dry.
Keep powder dry? What is it?
It makes I want to keep powder dry.
Oh, yeah. It makes you want to what? Yeah, tell us.
Invest to make
Oh,
more
make
money.
money?
Yeah, join some sort of business or become a businessman and just go.
Sell penny
Ham.
stocks.
Yeah, sell penny stock. Exactly.
So that's Adam Newman, WeWork. Slippery dude.
Is what he did illegal?
People are trying to figure out if it's illegal or not. It's not clear. In the real estate industry, like, you can do some slippery shit, but like, they're a pretty big company. So doing that for a pretty big company like that is pretty sketchy. I mean, like, it's conflict of interest. Like, you're who knows what price you're renting those buildings at to your investors, to the company WeWork.
That's probably why all those people on those real estate billboards are always smiling, because they know there's something fishy going on that they can do.
You can see the darkness behind their eyes.
Yeah.
This is like the whole light black people.
Exactly. I was just connecting with St. James on that. I felt it.
What did you call them?
Light black people?
Light skin.
Light skin.
Light black people. That sounds racist.
Does it?
It sounds real racist. They're the good ones, the light black ones.
I don't see it. I don't get it. What do you mean? Why is that racist? It probably is, because I'm definitely racist.
No, I'm not saying it's racist. I said it sounds racist. It sounds like something.
I got you.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I mean, it could be multiple things. It'd be light, like person who's not heavy or fat.
Mhm.
But you're saying like light black, like it could mean like they're not quite black.
Yeah, like nah, they ain't the devil. They ain't burnt or nothing. They like light skin. They're like, I'm just saying. I'm not saying it's racist. I'm saying it sounds kind of racist.
Yeah, amen. I feel like almost everything that we say has
Oh,
some racism.
You
tinge
can't
with
say
it.
anything these days. Nah.
I mean, you can, but it's like how people take it.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying?
And there will be a write-up about you on Huffington Post the following day.
That might be my biggest credit. I'll take it.
Oh, for
yeah.
Let's get him on.
This next comics have been on the Huffington Post, New York Times.
All right. Well, it's been a doozy, guys. We're kind of in and out today, but I think that's good. St. James, I hope you had a good time,
I
brother.
had an amazing time.
Yeah. Appreciate you being on.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kareem,
Word.
our social media gangster. What's up, brother? Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
CB,
Yo, what it is?
thank you for producing, brother.
Hey, man, my pleasure. It's just a quiet panic attack. No big deal.
We liked it. We enjoyed it. We like watching it. I'm Amer. Thanks for listening, y'all. Peace out.
Deuces.
Peace.